What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode, and I should say welcome back to a new season of Career Mode. Yep, season 2 beginning today. Absolutely pumped for it on the back of a fantastic first year at the stadium, like where for our second season with Sunderland we will start off with a budget of 45 mil. It's about what I was expecting. In fact, it's pretty much dead on the money. I thought it'd be about 40 to 50. That's 45 right in the middle. I'll take that. And we are going to receive a couple extra mil as well once I advance a day in the calendar, because we agreed some sales last season. Or I should say, the board agreed some sales behind my back, as Bertrand Traore and Masuaku, they'll be leaving on the 2nd. So yeah, the updated budget will be on the screen for you, but I'd say that's realistic for our second season. And so for season 2 with Sunderland, well, first thing I'm going to do right away is fix the team management. I can't live with this. I can't manage in these conditions. This needs sorting out. And also guys, question for you to kick the episode off. How do you order your reserves in the team management screen? Because for me, as you'll see, I like it neat and tidy, man. I go with position, then overall rating, and if it's a tiebreaker, I'll go with alphabetical order. But I've seen people do it in loads of different ways, including like the highest rated player here and then the lowest rated player at the bottom. How do you guys order your team management screen? Let me know in the comment section down below. But for season 2, as we take a look at the team, no doubt about it, this year we'll need some improvement in the summer if we are to improve on what was a solid first season, but a new season where we want some growth. We want to go into the top 10 for the first time in the save. We got to a cup final last year. I want to get back there again. It's ambitious, but I think we should be ambitious, no doubt about that. So I want to go back to either an FA Cup or a Carabao Cup final, and more than anything, we've got to score more goals. 27 goals in the Premier League last season, league's lowest scorers. That needs to be improved upon. And as for players with their contracts up coming the end of the season, none of these guys are going to get new deals. They're all going to go, including last year's starting left-back Ryan Nildo. And since Masuaku was gone as well, I'm going to need 2 new left-backs for this season. Oh, speaking of left-backs, has he had a potential downgrade? No, still exciting prospect. I think EA might have fixed this now. Do you know, should we start Anthony this year? He made his debut on the final day last year. Maybe I should bring in a backup left back and start the kid. But yeah, I think EA have fixed this. So basically, when you'd promote a player at the end of the season, if they asked for a pro deal, for next season they'd lose all of their potential because they'd be perceived as not playing for the entire year, even though they just got given a pro deal. So fair play to EA. I'm hoping they fixed it. And there has been a patch, by the way, the first update of the year. Let's see if there's any gameplay tweaks to improve the game for Season 2 onwards. Season 1, gameplay was great. Let's see what it's like in Season 2. Yeah, Reinildo is the second highest earner, so he's definitely going. Thinking about selling Alderete as well. He became a backup centre-half for us last year once we re-signed Lucherel. So I wouldn't be against selling Omar, you know, and replacing the Paraguayan international. Speaking of Paraguay, a look at our academy for season 2. What I like to do is promote players for the start of a new season if they're 17 or older, and that's the majority of them. So for that Paraguayan midfielder, Carlos Riveros, he'll get a new deal. And I only actually really want one of these French centre-halves, and at the moment, I think Reynal seems the better one. But we'll keep him in the academy for now. But that's how the youth team's looking. And I also want to say thank you for all the comments last season when I asked for youth scouting suggestions and where we should send our scouts. I had so many comments, so many country suggestions, so I really appreciate that. Of course, I can only pick 3. Though I did get a really good comment from Curtis who said, I like to use 3 monthly missions. You get to visit more countries per season, and then you don't get too many from the same country in your academy. That's a brilliant shout from Curtis, so I appreciate that, mate. So what we're going to do this year is scout 6 months for free, and then for the following 3 months, another 3 new countries. So that way we can do 6 countries in the same year. Alright, so I'm just looking down the comments now, and there are so many suggestions, man. Thank you for all your comments. Obviously, I can't scout every nation that was suggested, but I'll be doing this every year. So if I don't scout your country suggestion this time, don't worry, man. There's going to be loads more chances for us to go to your country. So yeah, plenty more chances if I don't scout your country this time. But one country that did come up quite a lot in the comments was Scotland, and that makes perfect sense for geographical proximity. So for realism, that's a brilliant shout there. And Sunderland have had quite a few Scottish internationals over the years, you know, Stephen Fletcher, Craig Gordon, of course, between the 6 was there for many years, and that's a great suggestion too, because he was a brilliant talent when he first came in from Hearts, and not only that, he produced one of the greatest saves in Premier League history as well. If you've not seen it, I'll leave a link to it in the description down below. So Scotland came up quite a lot. We'll be going north of the border and see if we can find the next Craig Gordon. And I saw so many people asking me to scout this country because for some bizarre reason that I can't work out, football fans here in Mexico have adopted Sunderland as their European team for the season. And I want to ask my Mexican fans, because I know I have quite a few of you, What's going on? Sunderland don't have any Mexican players in the team, so I don't know why you've chose us, but we are going to choose you. Let's look to get a Mexican player in our team this year, and I'm going to look for the next Javier Hernandez, the little P, or maybe a Carlos Vela, Giovanni Dos Santos, and let's look for a Mexican talent that will surely justify the new influx of fans from Mexico. I don't know why Mexicans are loving Sunderland right now, but we're loving Mexico. And as for the third and final scout, I want to scout every continent this season to make sure we cover as many bases as possible. And I got lots of suggestions for African countries. There was a brilliant suggestion, to be fair, from Savage Mancat, who said Cape Verde having a magical run to the World Cup after not making the AFCON. That would be a brilliant suggestion. The only problem is Cape Verde are not able to be scouted in FC 26. So that's a brilliant suggestion, but unfortunately, they're not in the game, so can't go there. I appreciate the suggestion regardless, mate. If they do get added for next year, I definitely will be going there. But I did see quite a few comments for, we got to go there, right? Because when you talk about prime Barclays players, Asamoah Gyan is definitely one of them. He only spent a year with Sunderland, but became a bit of a cult figure there in the North East for his goal-scoring record and wearing the number 3 as well. So we're going to go to Ghana. Saw quite a few comments for Ghana. And whilst we are scouting for a striker from Mexico, we'll go for a striker again, but also possibly an attacking mid as well, and maybe even a box-to-box if we were going to face Gyan deeper, or the new Asamoah Gyan. So you'll go for a player that can play through the spine of the team and see what we can find from Ghana. So 3 different continents, Scotland, Ghana and Mexico. Let's see what we find, and thank you again for the comments, guys. I'll be asking for suggestions during the season, so if it didn't go to your country, don't worry, there'll be another chance during the season and every season to save. Alright, so just agreed a load of departures. They'll be on the screen for you right now with the transfer fees included too. The biggest departure is Reinildo, of course. Last year, one of our best players in the back line, fantastic left back for us, helping us defend really well, but Aston Villa came calling, couldn't stand in his way. They're a European club right now, so that makes perfect sense for the realism there. Selling them to Unai Emery, plus out of contract come the end of the season, so good to know we won't lose them for a free. Also loaned out 2 of our youngsters as well to Inter Miami and Leicester, and with our budget now rising to £69 million. Guys, once again, in the comment section down below, I need your help for transfer targets. Where are we splashing that cash in the summer window? Give me those transfer targets in the comment section. Now, for realism, what we like to do is sign players from recently relegated teams, and Palace have got some absolute gems in their team that have gone down, including Alejandro Balde. I would like to think at some point, though, a big European club will come in, so I'm going to leave him there at Selhurst Park and hope he goes either back to Barcelona or elsewhere. But from Leeds United, Gabriel Goodmanson, this makes perfect sense. We need a new left-back with Masuaku and Reinildo leaving. He's got rapid pace, he's got decent stamina, and great technicals going forward and defensively in the prime of his career right now. GG, let's go bring him in. It's one thing I really want EA to fix. Oh, by the way, I customised my manager avatar a bit in the summer window. It's looking a bit more realistic now. I've lost a bit more of my Chad aura, but it's a little more realistic now. I really want EA to work on the players requesting transfers when they get relegated. Like, why is Balde at 85 overall as a young player approaching his prime going to be totally satisfied just sitting in the Championship? Same with Mark Gay. He was linked to Liverpool in the summer on deadline day. He was basically there. Why would he be totally fine staying at Crystal Palace, especially as he was out of contract? Is there anyone I could give Leeds just to soften the transfer fee? Rusin's come back. I'm not going to use him. So let's go 11.5 mil plus 1.1 mil. No, you're not getting Enzo. And you might notice as well, Daniel Farker is no longer in charge of Leeds. So this is the first time I've noticed that a manager has been changed in career mode. This is a new feature for CM, as we know, the manager job market. Great addition from EA as well, as Daniel Farke was presumably let go. And we're going to get Goodmanson for £13 million. For realism, this makes sense. Yeah, please keep those transfer targets coming, guys. You made an absolute gem of a signing last year with Fatawi, and I'm hoping that this guy will be just as effective. Not as a right winger, but as a left back coming in on a 5-year, 40 grand a week deal from recently relegated Leeds. This is a perfect fit for our team and for the realism too. Welcome to the Stadium of Light, Gabriel Goodmanson. Still getting better, 27 years old, or well, we should be getting better. Are you kidding me? Maxed out? Really? He's 27. He's not 37. Well, the good thing about dynamic potential is that, as I got a comment about this as well, for those that might be new to the game, it's okay, because if you play a year with a player who's not too old, and 27 definitely isn't old, then they can kickstart their growth for the new year as well. So I'm not worried about this. He'll hold at 78 for the whole year, but from next season onwards, he'll start growing again. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll slot him into our first 11. I need to get Riveros out on loan as well, man. Oh, by the way, he's got the exciting prospect tag, I believe. Is it the exciting prospect tag or the showing great potential? Even so, he looks good regardless, and certainly one to watch for the great potential. Certainly one to watch for the future. Let's try and get him out on loan. So not a lot of money spent there. Still got plenty of money to work with. I do think I need a new striker for this year. You know, Brian was our second highest scorer behind Adingra. He was decent at times, but I think I need someone, if not to start ahead of him, compete with him. I think he needs a threat for his lone striker position. I was going to go after João Gomez as well, relegated with Wolves, but Bournemouth appear to have beat me to it. They finished just above us in the table last year. I'd say they've probably got a slightly brighter future than we do, so I'll leave them there. There is temptation to go after Alan Wharton as well. Obviously, fantastic technical players. We know his range of passing is phenomenal. If no big European club's going for Wharton, I'll probably make him my big marquee signing. Because to be fair, as a replacement for Xhaka, I mean, is there anyone that would be better than him right now? Probably not. But we'll see how the rest of the window goes. Let's advance a few more weeks. Let's see what's going on. Alright, so 2 more sales from our reserves out of contract come the end of the season. So we'll take the small transfer fees, but most importantly, getting the salaries off the books. And Chris Rigg has gone back out on loan, this time to Wolves for 2 years. Perfect fit there with Wolves going down last season. I still need a backup left back as well, so let's go bring someone else in. And to be fair, I got a lot of comments last season as well, suggesting a really decent young left back playing for Sheffield United. As we know, struggling in real life mightily, but in the game actually got promoted last season, so he led them to the Premier League, and now I'm going to say, stay here with us in the North East as well. Harrison Burrows, got quite a lot of comments for this guy because he's a great fit for us. He's got excellent energy, fantastic stamina. Being English helps with the homegrown quota as well, and decent technicals going forward as well. So I appreciate all the suggestions. Harrison Burrows as the backup for Goodmanson, perfect fit. So just trying to soften the transfer fee a little bit here, but Sheffield United not agreeing to that. 10.5 mil, I'd say is relatively realistic. Maybe they want a little bit more than that for a decent young, and again, English player as well. So what I'll actually do is I'll up it to £11 million, and I'll include a minor sell-on clause of 3% as well. So don't have to do that, obviously, but a little bit more realistic, I would say, especially for a player that just helped a team get promotion. I'd say that's fair, personally. Keep those transfer targets coming, guys, because this one was recommended in the comments quite a lot last season, and now we've got him coming in on a 5-year, 40 grand a week deal to compete with Goodmanson for that starting left-back role. Welcome to the Stadium of Light. Harrison Burrows. Yep, realistic signing, I would say, as well, from a side who may have just gained promotion, but I'd say we've got more stability at the moment. And again, not doing anything too unrealistic in our first 2 seasons as well. Showing some ambition, sure, but not going way out of our lane yet. Yeah, it's looking good, man. I'm liking the team right now. Again, I do think we will probably need a new striker to compete with Brian Brobby, if not to take his place, at least to compete with him up top. So I'm not overly convinced by Wilson, even though he was my top scorer in the Cup last year. And as for my ender, I think he needs a loan, really, personally. So maybe a new striker, maybe a new central midfielder as well, for a bit more depth in the middle of the park. Outside of that, though, I think we're doing quite well right now. I'm liking the team. And as we just agreed to loan out Garo to Turkey as well, we'll keep our eyes on the exciting prospect there, and hopefully he'll come back a better player after 2 years. Speaking of youth players, we've now got our first free scouting updates of this season. So fingers crossed we start off some gems here from Scotland, Ghana and Mexico. Whereas we look for the next Craig Gordon, for now, not the best start, unfortunately, but it's a 6-month mission, got a long way to go, not panicking. And from Mexico, Julio could be quite good, as could Cuevas, and I was looking for the next Carlos Vela. I think I found him, Augustin Arias. Potential to be special, put him right in the academy, get him loaned out. shirt sales in Mexico are going to go through the roof now. They've got a fan base already in Mexico, Sunderland. Now they're going to get even bigger of one. But as for Ghana, unfortunately, not a great start here from the first month. But considering I've just got a potential to be special player, I'm certainly not going to be complaining. I'll take that. Where is he? Where is he? Augustine. Put him right in the first team, man. 17 years old. Get him in the first team. Get him loaned out. Get him some first team football. This guy could be the next big thing out of Latin America. Where is he? There he is right there. What a gem this guy could be. And as Riveros has just gone out on loan as well, I've got another one of those unexpected events. Now, this is really interesting. Inside Access, an important production company, Netflix, wants to film your team throughout the next competitive year. Accepting this offer could positively impact the club in various ways, including increased exposure and revenue. However, it might also add pressure on the players. Sunderland till I die? Season 3? Oh, come on, man. We've got to do it right. We've got to do it. Approve it. Approve it. Let him in backstage. Approve it. So, just loaned out Arias to Minnesota United. We'll definitely keep our eyes on him there in the MLS for the next couple of years. Let's play our first game of the season, and we'll end on this, hopefully getting off to a better start than we did last year when we were beaten 2-0 at home by West Ham. It's another London club at the Stadium of Light, this time the Gunners, Arsenal, who last season inflicted our heaviest defeat of the season on us here at the Stadium of Light. 4-0. So this season, hopefully, going to get a better result and a winning start to our second season at the Stadium Light. Goodmanson makes his debut. Other than that, our first 11 is unchanged. Let's get 3 points on match day 1 and a couple of goals as well. Come on, the Black Cats. Now, I know the board have said qualify for the Europa League this year, but I don't think we can do that personally. This is a good Sunderland team. You know, it's a 4-star side. We've got a couple of decent young fullbacks coming in to replace our ageing fullbacks as well, without a big decrease to the quality. It's a decent side, but yeah, 5th place is what counts as Europa League in career mode. You can finish lower and still qualify for it, but the board only consider 5th place. Are we good enough for 5th? We weren't even good enough for 10th last season, so I don't think so. Gyökeres to Declan Rice. That's a great ball by Gyökeres. Marino is through. Great save by Roofs. And a scramble. Xhaka stoops low to make a part clearance. And it's fully cleared by Trey. Good stop by Roofs, who once again this season are able to bail me out several times, I'm sure. Second half underway. How about this for a common scoreline? 0-0. Yeah, for the new season, I'm gonna play the first few games, see how things are going. If we're still struggling for goals, but also conceding goals as well, I will definitely consider tweaking the sliders just a little bit, because whilst we do want the results to be realistic, we do want things to be very, very similar to what we see in real life. Again, last year we were 3rd in clean sheets. We had more 0-0s than anyone else in the division, and we don't want to have a repeat of that this season as well. So, yeah, we do need to get some goals. As Odegaard is using those skill moves for days before floating one in. Nordy does well. And as the ex-Arsenal man Xhaka himself finds Fatawu. Oh, brilliantly done. Goodmanson on his debut. What a dream start for the Swede. Sunderland lead courtesy of our new number 3. What a fantastic little move and a brilliant finish. Siddiqui to Robbie. Didn't control that very well, but keeps it on the floor as we're still leading by 1. 24 to go. You know, this will be our first scalp of the entire save as well. Not a bad way to start season 2. Well, we've not changed much, but the one thing we have changed is a new left back, and he's the reason why we've got the lead right now. Let's see if we can hold on to it. There's a Dingra. We'll find Diarra. Now Xhaka says, Siddiqui, get running because you've got pace and energy. And Brobby is through behind the back line for the second. What a dream opening day. Sunderland 2-0 up. Brian gets his first of the year. This will be an amazing start. I do want to keep scoring those nice team goals like we got for the first, but at sometimes I think I need to be a bit more direct and use a bit more pace. Exactly what we did for the second. Robbie bursting forward and drilling it home. And at the back, as Odegaard comes through, Roos makes a brilliant save to keep hold of the clean sheet for now. Still 2-0 up. It should be 3 points on the opening day, but not yet. Zubimendi gets a goal back. Just time wasting really here. Off comes Lucharel and on comes Alderete. but there's not really enough time for Arsenal to get the goal back. There's 2 minutes of stoppage time, but all I've got to do is keep holding the ball, and we'll keep holding the 3 points. Well, last season we didn't record a single scalp against any of what was known as the traditional top 6 in England. On match day 1, we've got one. Maybe not the clean sheet, but a big 3 points. Goodmanson on his debut and Brobby with the second, and despite a late scare, the Black Cats hold on to get their first win of this season. But that'll do it for today's episode of Career Mode, guys. Massive thank you for watching the season opener. If you've enjoyed it, please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I'll return in the next one with the rest of the transfer window. Guys, targets in the comment section down below. Leave them for me today, and I'll see you for the second episode of Season 2 very soon.